Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Lucid. We're hopping back into Garden of Good and Evil. It's turn 54, and we will hop right into this turn. So, no messages. All the role-playing dialogue has kind of died down. What I'm going to do this turn is we're going to go through the events, and then I think I'm going to pull up the score graphs, kind of check in on those. It's always good to kind of see, taking a look back where you are in the game. So, we have a scout battle. We killed some of Ryla's expanders. We killed a big Agarthan army. We'll go and watch that. This was the Agarthan Pretender. So you can see he died, the Ageless Helm. And we took pretty minor losses, right? So we lost about 90 of our troops, which is not tiny, but it's pretty small, right? So we only lost about 20% of our troops, and almost all of them were just my chaff. What else? We defended a little raiding party. Then, what do we have here? We took a Ryland province. So the Vastness kills some ghouls. Vastness kills some more dudes. And Horned Serpents. Okay, so we got some nature gems. We have a Dominion change. We had a magic fading event. I think this is the 6th magic fading event. So this is the problem when you trash your scales. That's a lot. When you have 6 magic fading events, and I think if you look at it, we're in turn 5, or we're in year 5. So 6 within 5 years. That's a lot. And then we have our first blood slaves. So we have 4 blood slaves. I'm not sure what I can do with that. I could potentially. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's much to do with 4. We broke through a fortification. 2 fortifications. So we broke through the fortification here, and we broke through the fortification here. And that is about it. So, now, like I said, we're going to pull up the score graphs and take a look. So, with the score graphs, we've got this. You can see our forts have been continuing to go up. In fact, if anything, they've spiked up recently. This was mostly due to the using distill gold and getting all the gold from my fire gems. I was able to convert that into forts. This downturn you can see was when I lost my throne to Agartha, though you can see it has cost him dearly. Income, you can see it's a bad story, right? Income's just been down and down and down. I've lost almost all my non-fortress land, so I have almost no income. Gem income, though, has kind of gone up and plateaued. I'm kind of where I was 15 turns ago, though I've lost a lot of land. Research has also started to plateau. A lot of my researchers had died. In terms of Dominion, you can see it is slowly going up. Right, so there is a positive slope still. Army size, you can see this really, for all the fact that I've been in war the whole time, it really hasn't changed that much. It's just going up and up and up and up. So that is very good. So in general, I would say I'm stable, and it's very unlikely I won't make it into endgame. It also appears that Nazca has moved his army back. His army was in this province, and he moved it here. So it looks like he's doing something aside from messing with me, which is fine. I don't think there's any gems in this province. I can go back and check, but there's really no point taking these back. What else? Ryla moved his army on top of this fort. Presumably he can probably break through in 1 or 2 turns. Which I'm not very excited about. Actually, that's really a problem. What I probably will do is I'm probably going to move this army back out to take this fort. The way that will play out is I've got a big army here. And I'll probably... I don't know exactly how it will work, but Yeah, not totally sure. But I'm definitely going to take this, and I may even try to cut off the escape route the turn I take it. But we'll have to see. These guys are aquatic. What I may have to do is send him underwater with troops, because the Mind Hunt is so strong. I need somebody with anti-magic to resist the Mind Hunt. I mean, not the Mind Hunt, the Mind Blast. So it'll probably be this dude leading a big squad of troops going underwater, combined with some of these dudes. Otherwise, they'll just Mind Hunt my... I can't send ghouls, and I'm not going to send lictors. Or lictor... All my mindless units can't go underwater, so... Anyway, I'm going to send one dude underwater with really high magic resistance, and hopefully that works. Okay, so now we'll get into what I'm doing this turn. We're going to take this fort. I think if it's 150 dudes, and if these things have... Oh, 150 defense... He may break it in one turn. Maybe 2 turns. So if it takes 2 turns, this is 1 turn. Next turn, he'll be ready to break, and turn 3, he'll actually storm the fortress. This turn, I break it, so that's turn 1. Turn 2, I move here, right? Turn 3 will be the turn maybe that he's storming it, and I will jump in there. The reason I really don't want him to get this is I don't want him to have a protected laboratory from which he can mind hunt underground. Or build assassins. Once he gets in a fort, it's really hard to kick him out. And this would be a great fort for me to hold, preventing him from coming inland. The other thing I'm doing is you can see Ryla's moved a big army here. And it's very possible he would do something like attack with his big army here, which I have very few sacreds in this army. And he probably knows that I would like to storm this fortress this turn. So he may do a big attack here. If he does, I have to kind of be ready to respond. He could even do a big attack and send both his vastnesses in. So this could be a really huge army. This is the biggest army I've seen with 400. And he may want to do Solar Brilliance or something, and we'll see. Like, if he did Solar Brilliance and then started spamming other stuff, he would easily kill all 400-something units I have here. So what I need to do instead, I still want to take this fort, because I spent a lot of energy getting here. I'm going to take this fort, but I'm also going to move a lot of my troops back. And that's kind of one mission. And I actually hope he attacks. I would love to get this army off the board. He would win if I didn't reinforce this, but I'm going to. And I'll have, what, 50 knights? I think there's some more. Yeah, 60 knights. And yeah, that's about it. 60 knights, which is a lot. And then about 400 or 500 chaff. But the other thing I've got is I'm bringing in my Holy Four Priest. So this guy, with Power of the Sepulchre, it makes my chaff far better. The big thing is they get increased movement speed and attack skill. So that means that if he's throwing out a lot of evocations, which he will, or anything, the longer the battle goes, the more it's going to favor Ryla. So increasing movement speed and attack skill is going to make the battle shorter, which is going to make it more heavily favor me. So that's going to be a big boon. I'm assuming there's very small resistance, a very small resistance for force inside of this fort. So I've got my standard fort busting with Unholy Blessing and then a squad of knights in a box formation on attack rear. And these guys will just haul ass inside, which is what I want. This also should be strong enough if a vastness attacks. I should absolutely wreck it. I was hoping that his vastness would attack here, and I was going to kind of defensive move in here and kill the vastness. Instead, I didn't get lucky. He could attack here, or he could go defend here. I think like, if I were him, I would think that this army is going to go attack here, and I would send a vastness to kill it. And for a while I thought about sending my army up here. But then I kind of decided against it. Not a real strong reason why. Maybe I still should do that. The problem if I move up here is that it opens up this fort to be one turn attacked, or one turn cracked by Asphodel. And if I move to this province, I still have access to both these forts. So actually that probably should be something I do in diplomacy, is I should probably tell it. I'm going to ask Asphodel to move that army. So I'm going to say, if you have no intentions of attacking with your large host, please put it to better use. And I actually have a big enough army I could crack his fort and force a battle. Okay. Okay, sorry, I normally do this off camera, but you had to sit here and watch me type one of these messages. Anyway, I need him to move this, because this army is really held hostage. I can't go more than one turn away from each of these forts, because he has 1,500 dudes. Holy shit, that's so many. I think he's going to attack me with it, you know? The other thing is I wasn't bringing my lictors in, so I kind of need to do that. So, we will see. But this doesn't really bode super well. I think this army's gonna have to... I don't even know if I could kill this many. It's so many of them. It's got black centaurs in there too. I think that army may actually beat me, which... These guys are just dead set against me. Ryla has really won the diplomatic front. So I've managed to convince Nazca, but Ryla has turned... and kept everybody against me, even while he has 4 globals up. Like, he's clearly gonna win the game if I lose. So, I think everybody needs to be at war with me and Ryla. And more at war with whoever's farther ahead. And right now I think Ryla's farther ahead. So... we'll see. One thing I probably should have done was I probably should have invested in a lab and gone out nature site searching. It's really hurt me not having a nature income, because especially getting up to Alteration 5, I could have taken Mother Oak, putting Mother Oak up, and especially in a game with Asphodel, having it up is less about me having it up, and it's more about preventing him from having it up. So we'll see. This army is big enough it actually scares me. You know, there's probably 20 elephants in here. And those elephants are really, really scary. So I'm not sure how this is going to go well. I'm kind of in trouble, actually. I don't... The good thing about moving this army up here is I can now merge it in and help with one of the defenses, which I think I'll need to. I hope he doesn't move his vastness here. Highly likely he does, but also highly likely he sends his vastness. I think he's probably going to move a vastness here, which actually... I was going to... Oh, okay, I can't move there. Moving there would not be a horrible idea. Okay, anyway, so that's the strategy. I'm going to defend this. We're going to keep in 2 ranges of this fort, because I think Asphodel's going to attack. And we're going to take 2 forts this turn. I have enough gold that I can put 1 temple up next turn. And you can see I'm at Dominion Strength 9. And I'm only 3 away from Dominion Strength 10 in terms of number of temples. When I get up to 20 temples, I'll be at Dominion Strength 9, or 10. So I'm going to be very close to it after this, because next turn I'll be putting 1 temple up, and the turn after I'll probably be able to put another temple up. And then I just need 1 more fort, and I can put another protected temple up. Hopefully one of these sites I'll be able to recruit human priests. Oh, that's kind of cool. Bakamano Chief. So that is kind of the plan. The other thing I'm going to show you is, so he has 2 star spawns in here, and they have about 5 telesthetic animates. These are large Holy 2 monolith-like structures. So they can't move, and they just, it's basically banishment spam. And they're also going to be preaching to raise Dominion, which they can really only do to a point. I'm almost certain he's going to be building a fort in here. Whoever puts a fort up, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to raid. So one thing I could potentially do... Yeah, I don't know. When I get in here, there's a lab, so I could potentially do something like cast Lamentation or something, which I think is down here. Right, and if I have 50 death gems, I get 5 of these. And that would be nice. What? I only have to be death 3. Those would be good at dealing with a lot of their thug-like units. They're actually not great versus water elementals. They're kind of okay. So, not totally sure. But eventually I'm going to... Because I can't move troops in, I'm probably going to have to use the laboratory to summon troops like he's doing. But anyway, I'm planning on taking this back this turn. Here's my strategy. I'm going to do Horror Mark and then 2 summon Lamashtas. This guy's Death 3 because I gave him a Skull Staff. And they both have these boots with Reinvigoration, and they both have 4 Death Gems. The reason they have 4 is because it costs 1, but I can get 2 summonings off if I put an extra gem into it, because it's 100 fatigue. So it'll be 50 fatigue if I put an extra gem into it, which is what I'm going to do. So it's summon them twice. The Horror Mark is because Lamashtas are considered horrors, and they will preferentially attack anything with a horror. With a Horror Mark. And what's very important is that this dude goes first, so he will Horror Mark the enemy. If, for example, I summon Lamashtas first, it's very possible I would Horror Mark a Lamashta, which wouldn't help me at all. So, yeah, that's basically the plan, is we're going to summon 2 of these, and then we try to run away. Now, I've done scenarios of this, and I should win. If the guys in here can cast Nether Darts, those are actually really good at killing horrors. So that's possible it could kill them. Solar Rays and stuff like that, it's not going to do enough damage, I don't think, quickly enough. And each of these summons 2 Lamashtas, so it's going to be a total of 8 Lamashtas. And so these will win, probably 90% of the time. And I know that 10% is a big deal, because this guy is so lucky. What will kill me is if he anticipates an attack and moves a vastness here. And I've checked that. I've tested it. And I will lose both these dudes versus a vastness, which will be really unfortunate, especially if he's building a fortress, because I'm not going to be able to attack it again before he gets a fortress up. And then he's basically going to have this throne. And this throne makes 5... We'll pull it up. Dominion spread of 5. That's a huge amount of Dominion spread, right? And the Dominion conflict bonus. This is a huge pain in my butt to have this right in the middle of my territory. So you can see within a turn, it just spreads a ton of his Dominion. So anyway, that's what we'll be doing. That's my other kind of final strategy. In terms of research, I feel like this is probably not the right approach, but I'm going to keep marching up Conjuration. Everything else, there could be an argument made for getting higher up up this path, maybe get Divine Name, and then I could cast it on certain types of units. You know, maybe even a Wailing Lady or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, there's... And then enchantment, I would like to get 5 to get the gargoyles, especially if I had Divine Name. That would be a good way to make little thugs that were not susceptible to the normal undead stuff. So I'm not sure. My research is so slow, it's going to be really, really slow treading up Conjuration any further, but I do get Contact Lamia Queens, which would be really nice, which my god can cast. So that's a very worthy objective. I have enough gems to cast it. I also can maybe get an Ether Gate out. I think I can. Not sure if I want to, but that's a way to use pearls. Streams of Hades I can also cast. I don't have enough gems for that. There's a lot of good things I get to kind of boost magic diversity here. But it's really slow, and then ultimately, you know, I would love, like absolutely love, to be able to put up a Well of Misery. But that's so far away, I don't think I would get there before the game ends. Maybe if I invested more... I don't really have the money to invest in researchers. Once I get Dominion Strength 10, I'm not sure. I may focus less on forts, but forts are still really good. So I may put more money into research. Not sure. But anyway, that's the end of this turn. We're going to be hopefully taking this province, which will hopefully cause a big loss for him. We're going to be... hopefully catching a vastness here, but I think that's pretty unlikely. We're going to be hopefully having a battle here that I win, but again, I could lose. And we're going to be taking 2 forts. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you next time.